Welcome, everyone, to Intensity Broadcasting for tonight's coverage of the Hoosier Open Wheel 410 Series. Tonight, the sprint cars will be taking on Eldora Speedway for some action-packed dirt track racing action. One of your announcer for tonight, my name is Atlee Atman Weiss, and I'm excited to call every second of tonight's racing coverage here at the Big E. It's the opening race for the 410 Series for Season 6. And these drivers definitely want to start off the season with a bang by grabbing the win here at one of America's greatest dirt tracks, Eldora Speedway. Currently underway with hot laps, track open about 6 minutes ago. And Noah Bowman is sitting on the top of the board with a 14.13. Second is Jackson McLean with a 14.28. Third, Jay Schaff with a 14.33. Then it's Ryan Caldwell in fourth with a 14.33. And Joseph Smith is in fifth with a 14.38. So drivers continuing to just try to get everything dialed in, ready to go before we begin qualifying. See that logo on your screen in the top right corner. I want to give a big thank you to Indy Esports for their support of the Hoosier Open Wheel 410 Series. Make sure to check out their Facebook at Indy Esports. It's going to be, link is going to be in the description. And they are the esports team for Indy Race Parts, a racing parts dealer. So if anybody is a real-life racer and in need of any racing parts, definitely go check out Indy Race Parts. A few cars out here with the Indy Esports logo. Could not be happier to have them on board supporting this series. Now heading into this race, just wrapped up with Season 5 back in February with Vinny Sansone winning the series championship. He is currently in this session sitting 13th on the board with a 14.60 and trying to make it 2 in a row championship-wise. We have not had a repeat champion so far in the history of this 410 series. So I'm sure there are many drivers that are wanting to be a repeat champion. There are a few drivers in this field that could definitely do it. Wade Fields, who sits 6th on the board right now. And then, of course, Vinny Sansone. Those are the two drivers in this field that would be eligible to be a 2-time champion in the 410 series. Also heading into this race, the leader for most race wins is Trevor Royer. He has 10 wins. But he is not in the session here this evening. Let's talk a little bit about the track that we are racing at tonight. Both by geography and history, Eldora Speedway stands as the epicenter of dirt track racing. Situated in what was once an Ohio cornfield, the half-mile clay oval lies in the very heart of the Midwest racing scene, hosting some of the biggest events on the calendar to date. And it rightly bills itself as the world's greatest dirt track. It's got 24-degree bankings in the turns with 8-degree bankings on the straightaway. Track opened in 1954. And yeah, it's just and it's a half mile. So one of the longer tracks on this schedule, and it's one of the fastest tracks on the schedule. Drivers are hitting 134 miles per hour top speed. That's insane. These things are flying around this place. It's very impressive as we watch hot laps wind down. These drivers take on, and sometimes you see mistakes like that. Easy to lose it and slip up coming off the corner. This track is certainly not for the faint of heart. And so 10 seconds left. It looks like Noah Bowman is going to end up on the top of the board to finish off hot laps with a 14.13. Great lap for the 24. I'm sure he's hoping that it translates into qualifying, which is going to be coming up very shortly. Jackson McLean was second, Jay Schaff third, Ryan Caldwell fourth, and Joseph Smith fifth. And here we go. Getting geared up for qualifying. We've already gotten drivers hitting the track, so we'll see who can hop to the top of the board and set the pole. There's Richie Gaines, the third out there, driver from Mitchell, Indiana. Searching for his first ever 410 Series win. Got Joseph Smith, looked quick in practice. See what kind of time he can lay down. Ripping the top, there's Jackson McLean, driver out of Paris, Tennessee, and we've got Joseph Smith to the top of the board with a 14.69. That'll put him 3/10 ahead of second place Ryan Caldwell. As I say that, Richie Gaines jumps to second, and we continue to change as now Jackson McLean is to the top of the board. Second is Ryan Caldwell, and it came down to the 1,000th or more of a second between those two. Jackson had the quicker time. Now Noah Bowman, who was fastest in practice, he jumps to the top of the board with a 14.42. That puts him 800ths ahead of McLean. But as I say that, Vinny Sansone, your Season 5 champion, heads to second with a 14.43. So only 100th separates your top two right now. Jackson McLean is third. Vinny Sansone to the top of the board after that heater on the second lap with a 14.30. And that'll put him over a 10th over Noah Bowman. Third, we see Cody Parmalee jumps there. Fourth, Jackson McLean. He continues to stay out there even after he completed his 2 required laps just to maybe get a little bit more practice time in. We see Ryan Caldwell is 5th. So that'll do it for qualifying. Everybody who was in the session has turned a lap. Now we will have 4 heat races with top 3 advancing from each one. And then we will have a consolation, where one will advance from that. So I believe the entire field will make the race. Now it'll just be a matter of starting position. Each heat race will be inverted, so the driver who qualified the highest will start in the rear, while the driver who qualified the lowest will start on the pole. And that was a crazy lap there for Sansone. Over a 10th faster than the rest of the field. But the question is, will that translate to some fast race pace? And we can talk a little bit about these cars here. More power, more speed. These 410s are the ultimate non-winged dirt cars. If you don't drive these cars right, won't care how you drive it at all. So you just have to kind of drive it like you stole it, push it to the limit. It's got a stock block pushrod V8 engine, over 800 horsepower. They weigh about 1,500 pounds. And they have a 0 to 60 miles per hour acceleration time of 2.2 seconds. That is insane. And even though it's got a big 30-gallon fuel tank for its fuel capacity, these wing sprint cars, non-wing sprint cars, can really put on a fantastic show for the drivers and fans that love to see action at a high-speed pace like never before seen. And many people that drive these monsters, they are hard to tame and as equally as hard to control. Talked to owner Wade Fields earlier, and he said, we kind of have trouble getting a car count in this league because not many people know how to drive these cars. That shows just how important there is to know how to drive it and just how great this field is. See Big Roost says 4 heats with only 13 cars. Yeah, we're just going to do, 4 heats to get a little bit of racing in and determine the starting lineup. It won't be for elimination or anything. It'll just be for determining that starting lineup. As we now sit here at Eldora, look at all the scenery. Definitely a beautiful racetrack. in Ohio. It is a fast one for sure. I believe that'll do it there for qualifying. Session will wrap up with Vinny Sansone sitting on the pole. And here we go. We've got our first heat underway. Looks like heat 3 was skipped. So we'll take a look at the starting lineup for this first heat. Starting on the pole with a 14.682. That is Tyler Flynn with a... He'll be outside. That is the 024 of Ryan Caldwell. Third is Cody Parmley in the number 12. Fourth, that's Vinny Sansone in the 80. Rounding out your top 5, that is Glenn Reinhardt. Sixth is Cody Terry. And 7th is Tom Ostendorf. So we've got a strong 7-car field. All of them ready to duke it out. This will be our first glimpse at racing action here this evening. It's going to be a very brief heat, 9 laps. And again, everybody will make the main. And looks like Tyler Flynn did not come to the grid. So that'll now be Cody Parmley starting on the pole, with Ryan Caldwell on his outside. Then it's Glenn Reinhardt in third, Sansone fourth, and then Ostendorf and Terry make up your final row. So because it's a short track, we'll make 2 pace laps around this track before that pace car or pace truck makes that hard left turn onto pit road. And this will determine starting lineup for one of the lanes, either inside or outside. So pace truck is in. And green flag is in the air. We are underway for the heat race. There's Cody Parmley, strong lead heading into turns 1 and 2. Ryan Caldwell trying to make some ground on the outside, and there was your fastest qualifier, Vinny Sansone on the bottom in the number 80, trying to get underneath that under the 24. Door to door there off of turn number 2. Caldwell continues to have the nose on the outside lane. Sansone fighting hard on the bottom. 5 laps to go. Excuse me, 6 laps to go still. Parmley ran the fastest lap time of the race so far, 14.71. There's Sansone. Almost clear of the 24. Caldwell still fighting strong on the outside. And Sansone pulled a slider there, moves up the racetrack. Now Caldwell back to the bottom. Trying to slip up in front of that 80. Sansone holding strong up there, and Cody Parmley loves to see this, because the more that they battle, the farther behind they get. Sansone continues to have the nose on the outside. Just ripping that cushion right now. Parmley running a little bit of a lower line, right up against that inside wall. And now we see Sansone able to get fully clear of Caldwell. Now he has his sights on reeling in Parmley, but time is running short. White flag is in the air. Start on the pole has led every single lap in this heat race. Parmley looks like he is going to be able to hang on. Sansone follows close behind. He'll grab second. Ryan Caldwell takes third. We see Reinhardt grabs P4. Cody Terry rounds out your top 5. Austin Dorff finishes 6th. And Tyler Flynn is 7th. So that'll put Cody Parmley on the front row. Let's see who will join him. We've got heat number 2 underway. Starting on the pole, that is the number 50 of Joseph Smith. On his outside, that's Jay Schaff in the number 7. Third is Jackson McLean in the 81. Fourth, that's going to be Noah Bowman in the number 24. And rounding out your top 5 in the 3, that is Wade Fields. And rounding out the field in 6th, that'll be Richie Gaines the 3rd in the number 11. We are rolling under pace laps here at Eldora. And we're excited to see how this second heat will go. Again, that's Joseph Smith starting on the pole. Would love to have some good track position as he chases his first ever 410 series win. But we've got a lot of tough competitors making up the rest of the field. Jace on that outside. 7 on the ticker. 3 on the track. Got McLean there. Bowman there. Bowman was really quick in practice. And in qualifying. Then Wade and Richie back there as well, looking to try to make some noise. So pace truck is in. Green flag is in the air, and we are underway for our second heat race. We see Joseph Smith able to get clear of the field as he tucks in line into first. Jackson McLean fighting hard for second. There comes Noah Bowman on the outside, running hard all against that outside wall. And he is able to get clear of McLean there, now trying to chase down Joseph Smith for that race lead. He's got a ton of momentum on that outside. They're side by side heading into turns 3 and 4. Bowman with the nose. He's got a monster run as he crosses the start-finish line, and he will take that lead with the fastest lap time of the race to boot. Joseph Smith tucking in line there into second place. We see a car in the outside wall. That's Jay Schaff. That'll cause him to lose a decent amount of momentum. He falls to position number 4. And now he's got to try to work his way back up. First victim, Jackson McLean, gets underneath him as they head through 1 and 2. He's able to get clear. Although McLean fights back on the outside. That was actually a big run. McLean gets back clear of Schaff and stays in that top 3. Now he's trying to track down Joseph Smith for second. 3 laps to go. McLean to the outside. Oh, in the wall again, Schaff. He is flipping down the backstretch. Caution is in the air. And into the inside wall. And he is stuck in the tires. That 7 car can't move. So let's take a look at that replay there to see exactly what happened. There's Schaff on the outside. And we see that right rear tire gets into the outside wall. And at that point, you're just kind of along for the ride, and it just starts to tip over, hits the wall again. And after some contact from Fields, he just starts flipping all the way down the backstretch. Ouch. So we are under yellow. Schaff down there on pit road, trying to get that damage fixed. He will probably end up finishing last in this heat race. Not good for track position in the feature. I believe we're going to have a green-white checker to finish things off in this heat race. Lights are out on the pace car, getting ready to finish this heat race out. Noah Bowman is going to be leading the field with Joseph Smith in second, McLean in third, Wade Fields in fourth, and Richie Gaines rounding out your top five. And obviously Jace down there on pit road after that hard wreck. He will likely not be re-entering the field. Pace truck is in. Green flag is back in the air. There's Noah Bowman leading these sprint cars into turns 1 and 2. Joseph Smith trying to fight hard to get that lead back where he started this race. There's McLean on the outside. They touch McLean into the outside while he loses momentum. That'll give Smith sole possession of that second place spot. Fields right behind McLean trying to take it back. Now here's Jackson McLean. Got some momentum back. Flying around the outside trying to grab second from Smith. They're side by side heading off of turn number 4. Down to the line, McLean will grab it, and he will be starting on row number 2 for the feature. Noah Bowman gets the heat race win. He will be on the front row. So we are going to have another 10-minute warm-up just to let these drivers one more opportunity to get things dialed in. Any other tweaks to the setup? Oh, you have this little break in the action. Definitely want to say make sure to go check out our web store, IntensityBroadcasting.com. And IntensityBroadcasting.com is your home for custom bulk orders, racing apparel, and more. Intensity is proud to help with all of your custom merchandise needs for your business, racing team, or anything in between, with focus on customer service and getting you in contact with a real person. We can get you from idea to product with ease. Leave your information and a comment with information on what you're looking for, and we'll get back to you in record time. We already have some pre-existing merchandise on the website. Make sure to visit our driver collections, our team collection, our novelty collection. We've got our lifestyle collections and our iRacing collections. A lot of cool merchandise on there. But again, if you have a business, racing team, or need any kind of merchandise, definitely contact us on our website or on Facebook at Intensity Apparel and Broadcasting, and we'll get with you, get you the merchandise that you desire. So far in this warm-up, Vinny Sansone on the top of the board with a 14.93. He's about a 10th ahead of second place Noah Bowman, who turned a 15.05 third. That's Ryan Caldwell. Fourth is Wade Fields, and rounding out your top 5 currently in the warm-up, that is Cody Terry. Vinny, one of the winningest drivers in the 410 series, he's looking for win number 8 this evening. That would put him one step closer to the record for most wins in the 410 series of 10. That is held by Trevor Royer. And Trevor is in the session. He didn't compete in the heat races, so he may be just deciding to start from the rear of the field. Didn't qualify, didn't heat race. And this is a open setup league. So drivers do have the opportunity to create and run their own setups. And so that's a big factor here in this warm-up. Drivers taking an opportunity to adjust the setup, make some changes, get everything dialed in, ready to go for the feature event, especially with the track state like it is. after hot laps, qualifying, heat races. Noah Bowman second on the board still. Wade Fields has jumped to third with a 15.19. Yeah. Big Roo says, I feel like open set's a big factor on low car counts. Yeah, that for sure. Just because, I mean, it takes a lot of knowledge to be able to build your own setup, or a lot of money, of course, to be a part of a setup shop. So it's really hard to compete with that if you don't have either of those resources, you know, knowledge for setups or being a part of a setup shop. And so that's a factor in this race. It's not only going to be about, you know, who's the best driver with the given fixed setup. It's also going to be about who's the best setup person. You know, who can hop on the racetrack and dial in a car so that it's perfect for the feature event. And right now in this warm-up, it's definitely looking like Vinny Sansone is going to be the guy to beat in the feature. Started on the pole, or he qualified with a pole time in qualifying. Then after the invert in the heat races, he had to start in fourth, worked his way up to second, so he's going to be on row number 2. He has pretty good track position, and obviously a very fast sprint car. So we'll see if he can take advantage of that. But as I say that, there's Noah Bowman to the top of the board with a 14.78. Looks like he found something. Noah was fastest during hot laps. And he is once again during warm-ups. Wow. And we see Ryan Caldwell. He is third with a 15.16. Jumped ahead of Wade Fields. Again, want to give a big thank you to Indy Race Parts Esports for being on board for the 410 Hoosier Open Wheel Series. And their Facebook is in the description. A lot of drivers compete for the esports team. There are a few pro drivers on there as well. And they all represent Indy Racing Parts. Make sure you go visit their online store and purchase some of the best racing parts. They sell a lot of great products, including cockpits, frames and components, front-end products, HRP accessories, liquids, chemicals, you know, motors and motor components, rear-end products, wheels and tires, wings and wing components, all of that stuff, anything that you would need for a dirt race, they are able to provide that. And looks like session has been advanced with Noah Bowman on the top of the board for warm-up, which means we are getting set for our 30-lap race. And let's take a look at the starting lineup. Starting on the pole, he won heat race number 1. That's Cody Parmalee in the number 12. Winner of heat race number 2, that's Noah Bowman in the 24. Third, fastest qualifier, that's Vinny Sansone in the 80. Fourth, it's going to be the 81 of Jackson McLean. And rounding at your top 5, that is Ryan Caldwell. Sixth, that's the 50 of Joseph Smith. Seventh is going to be the 19 of Glenn Reinhardt. In eighth, it's Wade Fields in the 3. Ninth is the 54 of Cody Terry. And rounding at your top 10, that's Richie Gaines the 3rd in the number 11. 11th is the 32 of Tom Ostendorf. And 12th will be the 7 of Jace Schaff. So a strong field of 12 cars, all of them wanting to start off the season strong with a win. Got 30 laps to figure out who that will be. Cody Parmley leads that field on the bottom lane. Won that first heat. But both Bowman and Parmley have to watch out because third place starter Vinny Sansone is definitely going to be strong. So he wants to start off the season as he chases his second ever 410 Series championship. Pace truck is in. And green flag is in the air. We are underway for our 30-lap feature here at the Big E. We see Cody Parmley takes the lead early on, sole possession, but there's Noah Bowman right up against the outside wall, trying to fight to take this race lead, and he is able to clear Parmley very easily. At 24 is very fast, but right away we have a caution flag. Caution is out for the first time in the race. We will take a look at the wreckage replay to see what happened. Here's Ryan Caldwell in the 24th. In 5th, we see Jackson McLean in front of him, Vinny Sansone. And looks like Sansone loses some momentum. 24 checks up to avoid getting hit there by the 80. And then there's Joseph Smith. Gets into the right rear of the 24. That lifts the 51 up. He gets into the catch fence. And we see Caldwell sideways in the middle of the racetrack. Everybody else able to get through. So that'll bring us under our first caution of the feature. Noah Bowman is your leader. Cody Parmley sitting in second right now. So now we pace. Until we get back going. So that is unfortunate for Caldwell as he is down on pit road, and this will all but end his chances of winning. Joseph Smith definitely got a lot of damage from that as well. Lights are off on the pace car, getting ready to go back green here with this single file restart. Noah Bowman getting your leader, Cody Parmley second, Jackson McLean third, Vinny Sansone in fourth, and Glenn Reinhardt rounds out your top 5. Pace truck is in, green flag is back in the air. There's that 24 car leading the field into turns 1 and 2. McLean, big run on the outside. He is able to get by Cody Parmley for that second place spot. So now Parmley and Vinny Sansone battling for third. Sansone, big run on the outside. He does get clear of Parmley as Noah Bowman. He did have the fastest lap time in the race, but then McLean ran it with a 15.31, but he gets into the outside wall. There goes Sansone grabbing the second place spot. So now McLean sits in the third for the time being. Looking to try to regroup and try to get back to Sansone for second. Elsewhere, there's Jay Schaff on the outside in the 3, working his way up through the field. He has to make up a lot of track position, got involved in that wreck in the heat race, started at the very rear of the field, and he has worked his way up to second now after getting by Glenn Reinhardt. Next driver he's trying to get to is Cody Parmley for that 5th place spot. Wade Fields got by him. He's up to 4th now. And Noah Bowman, fastest car on the track, 15.26 was his last lap time. He's got almost a second lead over Vinny Sansone right now. Schaff has caught Parmley. Big run on the cushion. And he is able to get by him into the top 5 after starting in the rear of the field. Schaff really flexing those muscles. But somebody else who is 15.25, fastest lap time of the race for Vinny Sansone, currently running in second. He's trying to reel in Noah Bowman for this race lead. He was the fastest qualifier. Was really quick in hot laps and the warm-up and the heat race. But did not have the track position, wasn't on the front row, and so Noah Bowman got out to that early lead. Now Schaff is catching Wade Fields for the 4th place spot. Fields still with a little bit of a nose on the bottom. They almost make contact on the backstretch. But he slides up the racetrack. Now Schaff to the bottom. And he does a slide job. Fields back down low. They remain side by side through 3 and 4. The 2 threes duking it out, and Fields slides up in front of him, and he clears them, continuing to hold on to 4th for the time being. We see Schaff kind of regrouping a little bit, trying to set something up, seeing what Fields is doing, maybe where he's given up the top of the bottom. He's trying to close in, running that bottom lane. Fields still with the momentum on the outside. Looking elsewhere, Cody Terry is catching Cody Parmley for the 6th place spot. There's Terry to the outside. Big run. Cody, though, still maintaining on the bottom. He's got the nose, but off of 4. Good drive off for Cody Terry. And he will take that 6th place spot. Wade Fields still trying to hold on to position number 4. They got some lap traffic to deal with. That's Tom Ostendorf. He's gone a lap down now. As well as Joseph Smith and Ryan Caldwell. Both Fields and Terry navigate. Is Schaff able to get clear of Wade Fields there? Fields back down to the bottom. And he slides up in front of the 3, making a little bit of contact there. They keep it going straight. Little tap to the outside wall there for Wade Fields. Still has the nose on the outside lane. And he's able to get clear of Schaff as they got some more lap traffic to deal with. That's Cody Parmley. Or excuse me, no, that's Joseph Smith. Although Cody Parmley has now gone down a lap. He started on the pole, has lost 6 spots since the green flag drop. Not the race that the 12 has wanted. And we've got less than 10 laps to go for Noah Bowman. 2-second lead over Vinny Sansone right now. Last thing that he wants is a caution, but also you got to keep in mind he's got to navigate some more lap traffic. He makes it by Ostendorf there. That's all he got in the wall a little bit. He said, please, no, don't wreck, don't wreck. Let me finish this out. Next car he'll catch to put a lap down is Jay Schaff. And that is not what he wanted for Noah Bowman. Caution flag is out, and that was Ostendorf bringing it out. We saw he was having trouble getting into the outside wall. So there he is on the backstretch. We see Joseph Smith gets by him. Entering really low. Now sliding up the racetrack there through 3 and 4. There's Sansone going around him. Parmley goes around him. And he just loses it heading into the barrels. And that's what brought it out. So one driver who loves to see that is Vinny Sansone. there was not a lot of hope left for the 80, as there was a 2-second gap separating him and Bowman. So now Noah going to have to hold on for a 6-lap shootout. And I know Sansone is going to be fighting tooth and nail to see if he can get by the 24. Lights are out on the pace car. Single file restart. Bowman is in first, Sansone second. Third is Jackson McLean. Fourth is Wade Fields. And rounding out your top 5 in all of the lead lap cars, that is Jace Schaff. That's right, only 5 cars remain on the lead lap. It's been a dominant performance for your leaders. Pace car's in. Green flag is back out. Can Noah Bowman hang on for 6 more laps? That is the question. Able to get a quick lead over Vinny Sansone. It's McLean and Fields fighting hard for third. We see McLean right now has it on the bottom. But Fields, big run, drive off. Heading off of turn number 4, and he will get clear of Schaff there, who has also gotten by McLean. So McLean falls from 3rd to 5th. Contact for 3rd. It's Fields and Schaff duking it out. They've been going at it for a lot of this race. Of course, Schaff, he started at the rear of the field, had an incident in the heat race, has had to work his way up through the field. Now he's got one more car to try to see if he can get a top 3. That's Wade Fields. Jackson McLean there as well. Lost a ton of momentum on the bottom. McLean gets by Schaff, so now he's trying to get by Fields for this 3rd place spot. 3 laps to go for Noah Bowman. Started this race outside pole quickly. Got by Cody Parmley, and he has just dominated this race, has made great pace all evening long. And 2nd place, Vinny Sansone, has not been able to get anywhere near him. Just has to make 4 more good corners, and he will grab his first race win of the season, 6th win in the 410 series. There he is, heading off of turn number 4. He will get it done. Vinny Sansone will grab 2nd, and Jackson McLean got by Fields and Schaff. He held them off, and he will take 3rd. We see Wade Fields finishes 4th, and Schaff flipped across the line. That's the 2nd time he's flipped in this session. Flipped in the heat race. And so Noah Bowman will pull it down to victory lane. There he goes. Heck of a run for the 24 out of Springfield, Illinois. That was a great race all around. Now we got some driver interviews starting off. We'll pull in your 3rd place finisher, the man from Paris, Tennessee. Let's talk to Jackson McLean. Jackson, this is Atlee in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
How you doing?
Doing good, and looks like you were doing pretty good out there on track. Had a good run this evening, starting it in the top 5. On that last restart, you were fighting tooth and nail to try to park it on the podium with Wade and Jason. You had to make some tough moves, put your cars in some spots that it maybe didn't want to be, but you got through, held both of them off, and parked it on the podium. I mean, walk us through those last laps as you were trying to fight there.
Well, so Vinny didn't get as good of a start as I thought he would. And so I tried to get to his inside, and I was actually going to slow up in front of him, but I didn't go in with enough speed, so I just kind of stalled out. And so then I saw Wade and Jace get around me on the outside, and was like, well, my car was better on the outside before, so I kind of let Jace get in front of me. I went up to the high side, and I realized my car was quite a bit faster than theirs, and so I went around the outside of Jace. I noticed he was doing a cut down, and then I knew I was going to have to slide Wade, so I just kind of, with 2 laps to go, I just kind of went for it going into 3 because I saw the gap, and I'll never not go for a gap.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, that was definitely a great move there, going for the gap there. late in the race. Before we let you go, is there any sponsors or shout-outs you'd like to thank?
I want to shout out the B Main Bandits Racing League. We race on Tuesdays. Uh, Even Wade, Noah, and them all run with us too. We allow anybody, and I'd like to shout them out because they've helped me a lot.
Awesome. Well, congrats on the podium. Have a great rest of your night.
Thank you.
So that was Jackson McLean, third place finisher. Next, let's talk to your second place driver. That is Vinny Sansone. Vinny, this is Atlan, the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Well, good run tonight, bringing it home in P2. Start off the season as you're trying to defend your Season 5 championship. With the invert, you didn't have a lot of track position in that heat race, but you quickly worked your way up to kind of start on that second row in the race, and you quickly passed Parmley and worked your way up to second. And after that, it was just trying to chase down Bowman. Couldn't quite get to him throughout the race. So, I mean, still P2 good as you had to hold off everybody on the late race restart. But, I mean, what do you think you maybe could have done differently to change the result of this race?
Yeah, for sure. It looked like Noah had the field covered there. Yeah, I don't know what more I could have done. I've kind of, I don't know, maxed out all my options within the car there to try and catch him. But yeah, I just had to go back to the shop and work on something different to get that speed.
You know, obviously this league is open setup compared to if this was fixed. I mean, how much of a factor does that play to it?
I mean, for as good as everybody is, I think any little thing you get and find in the garage that'll help you and your driving style to be more consistent and faster. Um, you know, you put that on a 30 lap run like we almost had there, you see a space out. So, yeah, I mean, for sure, driver plays a part, but yeah, we can also find the little things and even the tools within the car to kind of help us along during the race and change how it's going.
Now, before we let you go, is there any sponsors or shout outs?
Just appreciate you guys for coming on board here with the Hoosier Open Wheel Series and showcasing what we got here and you know, the various drivers that come in and out here. We, you know, a lot of real world drivers out there who you know, kind of keep their skills sharp out here with us and keep us guys, regular guys here who are here every week in check. So yeah, no, I just appreciate everybody coming out and check us out.
Awesome. Well, again, congrats on the runner up tonight and have a good rest of your night.
Thank you, sir.
And let's talk to your winner after a dominant performance out of Springfield, Illinois, Noah Bowman. Noah, this is Outland, the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Well, heck of a run tonight here at Eldora. You had a good heat race, able to win your heat, started on the front row and quickly got by Cody there for the race lead. And after that, it was just a dominant performance. You know, the rest of the field couldn't really get anywhere near you when that caution flag came out. You had about, you know, a 2-second lead. So, I mean, just walk us through your race and just how you're able to get it done.
I knew I had to run away from Vinny as fast as I could because I knew he'd be right there. He's really good on these half miles, and we struggled in the past. We got something to work for us, and I think it worked out pretty good. I was curious because usually Eldora's one on the top, but I seen some moisture on the bottom of two, so I cut down a few times to try to use that in my advantage to pass lap cars and stuff, but the top was just where it was at.
I mean, so aside from, you know, the grooves and everything, I mean, with the race win, I mean, what do you think made tonight different and allowed you to get that win? Like, what was just the nature of the race that kind of went in your favor?
I think the big cushion definitely helped us. Our cars seem to be good when a cushion, well, what gets to be a cushion builds up around the top, something you can lean on up there. And yeah, we've struggled on the half miles in the past, and finally we were able to figure something out there.
Now, before we let you go, is there any sponsors or shout-outs for your win?
Yeah, I gotta thank Indy Race Parts Esports for letting me tote the Indy Race Parts flag. Red Driver Marketing Solutions, Moza Racing, Wade for putting on the league. He's always been one of the best league promoters on here. So, and definitely you jumping on the stream looked good. So I'm glad to finally have someone along board with us to showcase some of our talents that we put on there. Some good racing that goes on with the amount of cars we get.
Yeah, it was definitely some great racing tonight, but you put on a show, so congrats on the win. Have a great rest of your night.
Yep, you too. Thank you.
Thank you. And I do want to say there was a $50 prize for this race for drivers with a 0X in the A-main. And so Glenn Reinhardt, Cody Parmley, and Vinny Sansone all have gotten that. They will split that $50, so each driver will be getting about $16. So that's a good evening for them. Even if they didn't get the win, had a good clean race, so they will get some money from that. But I want to thank all of you all for tuning in to watch tonight's broadcast. Of course, got to give a big thank you to Hoosier Open Wheel Series for letting us do the broadcast. We will continue to broadcast these races for the rest of the season. We will be back here next Thursday at Lucas Oil, so you are not going to want to miss that. Make sure to like, follow, and subscribe to Intensity Broadcasting on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook, as that would be greatly appreciated. Make sure to visit our Twitter as well, Intensity Broad 1. We're always dropping polls and interacting with our viewers on there. And check out our web store, intensitybroadcasting.com, where we can do custom printing for you, and we've got other cool merchandise on there as well. But again, we will be back next Thursday with the Hoosier Open Wheel 410 Series. Lucas Oil, turn on your notifications so you will not miss that stream. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great rest of your evening. Over and